there's going to be more content. You're going to have to get used to a lot of new different techniques on how to play.
We spent 100 real American dollars and got basically enough crystals, 12,000 crystals. We did not win. In fact, we felt like it was a waste, and here's why.
EA sucks. Overall, the several years, EA has been doing nothing but attempt to become the richest punching bag in the industry. But all for a good reason. In 2012, they were named the worst company in America. And then yet again in 2013. Skip to modern day, and they have continued to stay on the path of destruction. They expected Mass Effect Andromeda to be a viable game even though it was in a state of unfinished progress.
Sorry, my face is tired from dealing with everything.
They even decided to abandon the game post-launch. They made sure to ruin your favorite games with microtransactions, loot boxes, and now apparently political agendas. If you're not convinced, let me mention they ruined Battlefront twice. They cancelled an upcoming Uncharted-like Star Wars game because they claimed people don't play single-player games, closed down a beloved studio, and await more greed in the further future. But how is it that a company with so much controversy surrounding it is a strong industry mainstay? The obvious answer would be to blame it on your typical casuals, who only play the sports games like FIFA, Madden, or NFL, and don't care all that much about what the company does itself. And although this is an obvious target to pick on, it is not the only one. In fact, I'd argue EA has stayed alive because of their strategy, which everyone just keeps on accepting. This strategy is so sneaky, consumers like us don't know it's even there. I call this one the EA effect. So in 2013, when EA was yet again named the worst company in America by The Consumerist, this is what they had to say about the whole situation. Are we really the worst company in America? I'll be the first to admit that we've made plenty of mistakes. These include server shutdowns too early, games that didn't meet expectations, missteps on new pricing models, and most recently, severely fumbling the launch of SimCity. That's a lot of bad things, by the way. We owe gamers better performance than this. Despite that, he noted that other complaints about the company just don't hold water. This is the first step in the EA strategy. I call it the humble sinner. The company finds itself in such a terrible spot, they point out how flawed they are, as if they're showing signs of positive progress to becoming better by recognizing their faults. It places them in a position where we cannot disagree with them at all. We subconsciously love when someone admits to their own fault, but that's not the only thing happening here. We've seen EA do this exact thing during E3 2017, when they agreed that Battlefront 1 wasn't viewed positively.
Got a lot of feedback. A lot of it positive, and a bunch of it constructive. That's a euphemism for not as positive. So today we're going to bring you 30 minutes of Star Wars Battlefront 2. And what we hope you'll see is that we've addressed all of the feedback.
They took up the stance that they deserved the criticism. And then we got this exact same routine in 2018 with Battlefront 2. This is a move we were pretty much manipulated to believe in.
And clearly we didn't get it quite right. So instead of coming out of the gate sprinting like we really wanted to, we had to take a step back and make sure that we were delivering the game that our players really wanted. We had a rough start, but I really think that this game has a bright future. Thank you very much.
A AAA company admitting they goofed with Star Wars? I mean, who doesn't want to give the guys who own the Star Wars license another chance to be great? And who wouldn't want to forgive someone who clearly admits to their own faults? Well, that's what EA is going for. And that's what makes EA so dangerous. They know very well that what they're doing is very wrong, but when it comes to criticism, they're taking up the mentality of pretending like they just misunderstood the player's wants and needs. They wouldn't be so off the leash if they didn't try to do this next step. I call this step the false redemption. You gotta hand it to them. EA doesn't lie to their customers. They say they will be better next time and go on to announce something people deem as a turnaround, when it should have been the norm to begin with. Coming off the Battlefront controversies, EA decided to make everything free in Battlefront 2.
DICE heard our feedback loud and clear on the previous Battlefront and are committed to keeping this community together with themed seasons of content post-launch for all players at no additional charge. Free content,
A bunch of free trials
will be free.
for free.
Free demo.
Are free.
For free. Free.
They have kept true to their so-called promise. Like I said, EA doesn't lie. But that's not the scary part. Everything in the game was for free, but that didn't stop them from ruining the potential of the good IP. They found another way to scam and steal money from people by implementing unreasonable requirements to reach access to certain characters. People were left with no hope but to invest in loot boxes if they wanted to get anywhere in the game. You see, it's all about setting up the expectation and clearing anything negative surrounding it. The bear repeats itself at E3 2018.
No loot boxes, no premium pass.
The company so-called promises no premium pass and loot boxes, and I've seen people come to EA's defense as some kind of reason that we should give them money yet again. But I say no, even though I do believe EA will truly this time get rid of the loot boxes from their games, they will somehow find a way to work around it. EA said the loot boxes will only be cosmetic, and I really do think that's true, but to act like their word is the guaranteed result has long passed. My guess is that they'll somehow make the cosmetics necessary to the game, defeating the purpose of being called cosmetics, or I could be wrong and they managed to do it in some other way. Either way, if you think either Battlefield 5 or Anthem will be free of any EA perks, then you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Again, one thing is sure, EA is in no position to admit they're in the wrong. It's time we stop believing to every single word they say, no matter what beloved franchise they own. At this point, we should demand to see progress and not hear of it. We've given EA more opportunities to better themselves than one can count on their fingers. When it comes to EA, we can no longer look at it from the wait and see perspective, because wait and see requires paying the money. We have to be certain that what we are paying for is truly worth it, because they proved to themselves that they're the one company we should judge before launch. If not, we'll be stuck with another controversy.
As you're helping your team play the objective, you gain these points.
There's such a plethora of things to spend it on, vehicles, or even coming in as a hero.
Oh my gosh, how cool